bosses. Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken kingdom.
It's Wheat Solo, aka the Skeleton King. So, somebody requested I do a DPS check specifically of fire mages, council members, and Night Lords. Now, by Night Lord, I specifically mean the Ghoul Lord, or the little caster enemy that you first face in Catacombs, I believe. That casts Fireball, Firewall, or Meteor, depending on which one, and it's the one that spawns in Provincial. The reason I'm specifying that is because there is another enemy called the Night Lord, which is kind of obnoxious, so we just call them Travlords. So if I ever say Travlord, just know I mean the Ghoul Lord from Provincial. You just go there, cast Desecrate, and GG. Now, as you can see from the beginning of this, the council member just running around with his finger up his butt, there's a reason I don't do DPS checks of revives very much, and that's because there's just too much variance. Even with pretty high health minions, it's like, it's just a lottery. He can have 2 Hydras up, as you can see on the screen right now, and when he has 2 Hydras up, it literally does, what, more than a third of the boss's life. That's 500,000 health, and it did a third of it. If he doesn't cast Hydras, it's just nothing. And you might think the Provincial Lord is going to be more consistent. No, because he might not cast Meteors. Now, when he does cast Meteor, the Meteor seems to do like 20% of the boss's health, counting the damage over time section. And on this kill, he did quite a few meteors, multiple doubles, and when there's 2 meteor patches underneath the boss, it really cooks him alive. And basically, I just want to bring this up. A lot of people don't like bothering with revives. I don't understand because of the information on the screen right here. You just literally go to Provincial, cast Desecrate, cast Revives. Now, with perma summons, I get it, it is a little more annoying, but just look at how much better these revives are than your skeletal mages. And skeletal mages are really, really, really good. And a lot of people aren't impressed with the Travlord. I think they're being biased and they're not looking at what's actually happening. Now, again, they are inconsistent. Just like the council members, you want the Hydras, the Travlords, you want the Meteors. And I've always said I actually think Travlords are better budget. Or a mix of them, because Hydras don't do AoE damage, and so when you're actually doing a map, you kind of like the fire patch, because if it does, 20% of a boss's health, and a Hydra does a little over 20% of a boss's health, well, think about it this way. What if there's 10 mobs on that fire patch? Okay, so that's kind of why I think Travlords are actually really, really good budget. Now, how I was doing these tests is in the first kills, I had max Desecrate Synergy, and that might not be the build you run. Now, I do think early on it's a super solid build just to go max Mage's Mastery, max Revive Desecrate, with max LR or LR last, get an Act 3 Merc, and you will just break the game. Go straight in the maps, especially you get a Grimm's Burning Dead. And here's a little clip of I think the Night Lord got stuck inside of Duriel's body, because they can run away from enemies. Revives are a bit dumber than your other summons. Summons will sometimes just kind of run around for no reason, even when they're aggroed. And it just seems like caster revives suffer from that a little more than other enemies. Now, I did do multiple kills of Travlords, although I only showed the final ones I chose for the video. And it is, I wouldn't say they're as inconsistent as council members, but they're, sometimes they just never cast a meteor. And sometimes they cast 2 and then 2 and then 2. And it's the boss just, if you ever had issues with Duriel as a kid, this is a great video for you to watch. This is all on ×3 speed, except for the mage kill, which I believe is on ×5 speed. I'll have the DPS numbers below. The last thing to really say is Desecrate Synergy drops off as your skill levels get higher, but at skill level 40, it still has a nice chunk of damage added to it with the ED percentage. And with mages, you don't need Skeleton Mastery. Think about it this way. If mages are really good, but the Skeletal Mage skill itself is over twice as good as Skeleton Mastery, you can use those points elsewhere. Am I recommending this? No. You should know the kind of build you want to play if you're going to cut Skeleton Mastery and probably have close to in-game gear. That's it for now, guys. Skellie King out. GG.
Play with us, Daddy.